All right, that's right. It is the ISUPK. That's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of Harlem, New York, since 1969 under Commanding General Yohana. And we're here to teach the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native Americans that we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Tonight's class is it's titled Should a Christian, that's the image that I got up there. Should a Christian wife submit unto her husband? I think that's a real solid. I think that's a real solid question. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and break, right? Get your pen and pad, your precept, get it all out. Because when we come back, we're gonna get down to it and get into these scriptures. All right. That is the ISUPK. That's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of Harlem, New York, since 1969. Under Commanding General Yohana, and we have been called to teach the so-called black, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native American people. All right, and we'll be right back. All right.
Hey, what's good, Zariah, man? What's up? Get your ass up. Oh man, you always do tripping. What's going on, man?
What's good, Red?
Hey, man, they was clowning you at work today, man.
So?
I mean, we watched the video a couple times, but we really couldn't tell if it was you.
Yo, how's your eye?
Oh, it's cool. God damn!
What's up, Rock? What's up, Rock? Yo, let me get one of them flyers, man. Man, I ain't giving you shit. You better get the hell out of here before Cat Pop come out here. Man, come on, man. Why you gotta be like that, man? I'm trying to come to class, man. Why you acting crazy?
Man, you need to go do that.
Man, I ain't giving him shit.
Man, what? Man, you ain't gonna give me shit. We need brothers to come to class.
Damn, man. Ite me ya me están rotando. Man, you fucking racist, man. Give me this goddamn flyer, man. You acting crazy, home.
Man, fuck you.
Oh, shit. Tebow, nigga.
What? Who?
Tebow.
Oh, damn, I ain't been to class in a minute. Shit. Oh, shit.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? Thanks for the bike. What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing. I thought you already collected the ties.
I did, but I want Red's 10%.
Stall him out.
What's up, Red? What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing, man.
Oh, yeah. You got something.
I ain't got. Hey, man, that's messed up, man.
Shut your ass up or I knock your ass out.
Yo, Tebow, man, that's messed up, man. Give him his money back.
What money?
Right now. The money.
Hey, man, why ain't y'all help me?
Yeah, man, I paid my tithes.
Man, that's fucked up. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all.
What about the time he took the ties from me in Zariah's backyard?
Oh, that was different.
Man, let's jump him.
Man, sit your ass down, man.
Man, I got mind control over Tebow. When he here, I pay my tithes. But when he leave, I pay my tithes.
Man, damn, man. I should have just paid my tithes, man.
Man, that nigga gonna cry in the car.
He should have paid his tithes.
Shit, real shit.
This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spitting. Album so high, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me. Yeah, that's the commitment. Don't trust the soul, niggas purring or they hit shit. What I speak is the
What's up,
truth.
y'all?
I don't care if it's offensive.
What's up, Red?
Life that I chose, no turning
Thanks for the
back
bike.
in this. They don't
You
understand.
got on my tires,
so
homie.
tell them no forgiveness, rain on them.
God damn, man.
Life shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive.
God
Life
damn.
that I chose, no turning back. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness.
T-Bone,
Rain on them.
nigga. T-Bone.
Reincarnation. So you know this endless. I'm solidified and stamped. That's why I walk with a signet. Build
I wanna
it from
do-
the ground up.
Salaya, what was
Good.
Independent.
Be like, man, that's fucked up. If it was y'all, I would've helped y'all.
All right, word.
They say I walk
Man, that's
around
fucked
like
up.
a
If it was y'all, I would've helped y'all.
Blameless. And if you ain't the same, I'm against it. Was born with the shit. The other half, I'm just gifted. 20 on me. Wish a nigga would so I could spend it. Start from the branch, then I.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, that.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to vote shit. They see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army. Going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on stopping, got this bitch off the hand, got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. Coming up on my double shit.
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settling? See, you locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause it's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking, now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping, kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to vote shit.
All right. We back in the building. You know what it is. All right. Tonight's topic is, like I said, the topic is, should a Christian wife submit to her husband? The reason why it's titled Christian wife is because a lot of our people are Christians or Islam, but this title goes out to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, right? Because right now, families is under attack. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is definitely under attack, and it's heavy right now. I mean, it's real heavy in Israel, real heavy among Jake. It's heavy right now. There's a new movement that's out. You know about the new movement about the Israelite Christians? Yeah. All right. Well, in case y'all don't know, there's a new movement out. It's called Israelite Christians. They call themselves spiritual abuse, something format, something. It's about women that are scorned. It's about women that are scorned that tried to come into the school and the seeds fell on stony grounds. You know what I'm saying? It didn't fall on solid ground. It's a movement that's going on, and that movement is the movement that women are strong enough. Wait, Salakia. The women are too strong to submit to a man using the Bible. Something crazy like that. Something crazy like that. But that's what's going on. So I think this is the right time to actually talk about it. And I'm just letting the sisters know right now, man, look, this is a time where you need your husband. This is a time where you need your head. All right? This is a time where you really need your head, because guess what? Salakia. Hold up. Salakia. I know they can hear me, but I can't hear it. All right. Salakia. Yeah, it's a time now that, look, it's time. It's time. We don't know what's coming down the pipe right now. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to need that strong back in the crib. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need that thinking that's not thinking with emotions, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some scriptures. But what I do is, I found a Christian video, right? I found a Christian video, and this Christian video is real heavy because it's a lot of people that follow this boy and it's in teaching. And this guy's teaching. Let me ask you this, and this is for anybody in the chat too, right? If your husband, when shouldn't you follow your head? When shouldn't you follow your head? Like when shouldn't you follow your husband? Go ahead.
Can you hear me in the mic? Because I don't hear my voice.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I really don't know if it's a situation, but it may be a situation where, say, if a sister's head is trying to get her to break one of the commandments.
Right.
So I would say maybe that would be the only reason.
Right.
He's trying to get the sister to do something as simple as like eat pork, and she's like,
or go buy some weed. Can you go buy me this weed? So if it's against his laws, his statutes, and his commandments, right? Now I want y'all to hear what I'm saying, right? It doesn't become a lifestyle. Understand what I mean? It doesn't become a lifestyle, meaning now your lifestyle is going over your head in all things. You know what I'm saying? If your head is saying something that is not against the laws, statutes, and the commandments, then yes, right? Like going to class. All right, I got that example from my captain today. But like I said, right now, man, it's real heavy. It's real heavy, and it's a lot of situations that's going on. And look, sisters, y'all got to understand something. When you're dealing with a man and you step to that man, right? It's a way that give me 1 Peter chapter 3. It's a way that you have to handle yourself. What I'm getting ready to say right here is crucial. It's a way how you supposed to handle your head. All right. It's a way that you're supposed to handle your head. All right. And I'm about to give it to you. And remember this. This is the only way. Like, listen, you going eye to eye, model to model, chest to chest. That right there, that's going to cause conflict sometimes. If your head is not in the ISUPK, that could definitely cause problems. All right. But if it's a young man that just came in and he been shed of the world, and now you challenging the brother because now he's learned that he's an Israelite, look, don't do that. Don't do that. If what you're saying is true, be you. If being a Christian you believe is the proper way, then be a Christian. But I'm telling you, a lot of times you guys that have these Christian ribs, y'all do become Christians, because when you start acting crazy, you start running around, yelling and screaming, coming up to the brother job, cutting the brother tires, busting the brother car windows out. When you're doing all that kind of stuff, that is not going to work. That is not going to work. In reality, that's going to make it worse. And if the brother is if the brother is in the UPK, he is definitely recommended. He's definitely, we definitely recommend that there be a repercussion for that. There's an action to your reaction. And if you step into me in a masculine way, you may get a masculine response. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to respond to our ribs and our husbands, Salakia, nobody in a masculine way. I don't want to respond to you too masculine, because I'm always going to be masculine. But I don't want you to respond to me masculine, because when you respond to me masculine, guess what? Even though I'm cool right now, even though I'm poised right now, even though I'm being held back and I'm reserved right now, you continually being masculine to me, it's going to cause my nature. It's going to cause a natural response. It's just like if a magician has a tiger, right? And while he has that tiger and he's training that tiger, and now he's doing a show with that tiger, and that tiger turn and eat off his arm. Was he wrong? Was the tiger wrong?
You want my answer?
I want your answer.
The magician shouldn't have had the tiger in that situation in the first place.
Why? Because
he's a natural predator.
the tiger is being a tiger. Listen, especially if you with a masculine man, if you with a real masculine man, and that's how we raise our men here in the ISUPK, you're going to get, the nature may come out, and we don't want that to come out. So you want to reserve that. So I'm going to show you right now, I'm going to show you how to deal with that, how to conquer that. All right. All right. Let's get it. Read.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 1.
Tell them where you at again.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 1.
We have 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Go read.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Why is he saying be subjection unto your own husband? Like, all right. So there was a lot going on back then, but being subjective to your own husband, meaning, look, during the time of the Roman Empire being over us, right? And we were Hellenized, monogamy was big. Now, I'm not, this class is not about monogamy, so I don't want my numbers to go down. The sisters be like, oh my God, he get ready to talk about. No, I'm not getting ready to talk about monogamy, but back then, that's when they was pushing it. This is when it was first pushed on Israel. And when it was first pushed on Israel, what happened was a lot of women were divorcing and remarrying. Men were divorcing and remarrying. And y'all know what I mean by divorce and remarrying in this culture. It's the same thing. You can only be with one at a time. And what happened was they were throwing them away. They were saying, okay, well, I'm done with this one. I'm going to go get the next one. Right. So when it says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not, this is where it at. If any obey not the word, read that again. Read it from the top. This is what I'm going to show you on how to deal. If you in this truth and you trying to get your head, because he's still your head, to understand that this is the truth, this is how you win him over. This is how you get him to understand, and this is how you get him to come in the truth. And trust me, it works. Read.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Read.
That if any obey not the word.
If any obey not the what?
The word.
So that's what we're talking about. If any obey not the word, read.
They also may without the word be won by the conversion of their wives.
So they can be won by the conversion of your wives. Now, somebody would say, well, what is the conversion of your wives? The conversion of your wives is her behavior, her conduct. See, if you going and you busting out windows, that's the opposite of this conduct that we looking for. If you coming up to his job and you disrespecting the brother at his job, or you disrespecting the brother in front of his house, or you the brother just trying to take out the trash and you coming out and you tripping, or you in the backyard and you tripping, right? Or you getting around your friends and you talking about them and you degrading them around your family and friends and all that. That's not winning him over by your what?
Conversion.
By your conversion. That word, once again, means your behavior, your conduct, how you carry yourself. Read.
Verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Read.
Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plating the air, and of wearing of gold, and or of putting on of apparel. So, in other words, he's comparing it. What is he doing right there? What is the comparison that he's comparing it to between the two? The inner and the outer. The inner and the outer, because what happens is because of your behavior, now what's inside starting to play itself out on the outside. It's starting to manifest itself. So now her conduct is the conduct, and I'm going to show you the conduct that it should be. Now the conduct is correct. The conduct has to be, and we have an example. I'm going to give you the example of this certain conduct. All right. So it says, read it again. Verse 3. Verse 3. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel.
So now see, it's saying not because you putting on all that. That right there, that's not what's going to win him over. What's going to win him over is your behavior. Look, boom, he going to be shot. Bang, was she quiet? And now you just floating around the crib, handling your business, doing what you got to do. You know what I mean? That's what you're doing. Not drinking and getting drunk, start acting crazy and slamming doors and shit. Don't know how to talk. So just sound crazy. Listen, that right there is a killer. All right? Disrespecting a man, especially here in this school right here, is not going to be tolerated at all. It's just not going to be tolerated. It's not. Now we're gonna try to show you that love. We're gonna show you that long suffering, but it's not gonna be tolerated by any brother in this school that's getting counseled by any brother in this school. So how do you win him over? He's giving you a perfect example. It's not the outward adornment, it's the inward adornment. It's the inward being. It's just like anything. It's just like when it says circumcision of the heart. It's an inward thing. It's not an outward thing. Read verse 4.
But let it be the hidden man of the heart.
Let it be that inward part of you. Let it be that inward part. Let that flow out, right? Not your mouth, not running your mouth. All right. It don't say anything in here about let me make sure it don't say that. If any obey not, this is verse 1. If any obey not, run your mouth, bust your car, get drunk, call your names, slam the doors. You go outside, I still hear you in the crib. No, by your behavior. When I look in your eyes, I see it. I see what's going on. Let that win me over. Don't be Medea. Medea ain't gonna get it. Read.
In that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price.
There you go. It's a great price. It's a great price. Look, don't you want a great price or you want a bad price? You want to yell, scream at crazy. Look, you want a great price. I just gave it to y'all. I just gave it. Boom. Laid it out. Mic drop. Ladies, write it down. That's it. Write this down. Put it on your t-shirt. Put it on wherever you need to put it on. Put it on your hair garment. Whatever you need to do is telling you how you win him. This is the Lord talking. The things that he say is perfect. I'm going to come back. You know what? Keep going on. Because this is how you do it. Medea is not the answer. Acting crazy is not the answer. I'm trying to tell y'all. That's what the world wants y'all to do. Because that caused division. Look, win me over with your behavior. Win me over with the very thing that won me. You know, you didn't win me by running your mouth. You didn't win me by acting crazy. You won me by being just what the scriptures just said, by your behavior. Keep reading now.
Verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy woman also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Salakia, do me a favor. Hold that. Go to Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. And then we're going to come right back to that. And this goes to my brothers too. Like, it's a certain way that we got to conduct ourselves just as well. All right. But right now, tonight, I'm dealing with my sisters right now. Right. I will touch on the brothers. Don't get it twisted. But look, this right here is mandatory. We are under attack right now. Like, it is real heavy right now. What you got?
The book of Romans, chapter 4. Salakia, the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Read.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
So whatever was written that's in the Old Testament, it was written for what?
Our learning.
It was written for our learning. Read. Not for us to throw it away. Not for us to destroy it. Not for us to not follow it now. Not for us to forget what the tutor taught us. All right? That's not what it's saying. It's not saying now, forget everything that the schoolmaster taught you. That's not what it's saying. It's saying all the things that the tutorer, the schoolmaster, the old covenant, the law, whatever you want to call it, it was written for what?
Our learning.
It was written for our learning. Come on.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
That we might have hope. Now let's go back. Now I want you to read verse 5. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 5.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5.
Come on.
For after this manner in the old time the holy woman also.
So remember, we just read all of those things was written for what? For our learning. Here it is. First Peter in the New Testament, he's letting you know, listen, that was written for our learning. And he's going to tell you and give you an example of a woman of old, how you submit yourselves. So he's going to give you a perfect example of how you supposed to conduct yourself. All right, read.
Who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Read that again.
From the top, sir.
No, adorn.
Adorn themselves.
So they adorned themselves. They covered themselves. When you adorn yourself, you put on your garments, you put on your clothing. Here he's saying, read it again.
Adorn themselves.
They adorned themselves. Read.
Being in subjection.
Being in subjection. So they adorn themselves by being in subjection. Read.
Unto their own husband.
Unto their own husband. That right there, that was their beauty. That was their glory. That was their covering. She said her covering was it's a beautiful thing to see a sister subject unto her husband. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to keep it real. Yeah, y'all can clip this one. When I first came into the school, right, it threw me off because I was coming from Christianity, you know what I'm saying? And in Christianity, You know how the sisters are in Christianity. If you don't have a Christian, if you don't know a Christian woman. But the point is, coming from that world and then coming into this world, it was a shock for me. It was a shock to my system because I saw respect. I never forget the first sister that I saw that was respecting brothers the way that I've never seen before. Not even Salakia. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. But the point is, I've never seen that before. I've never seen an environment like that before, where we are respected. And the sisters, they guess what? Guess what their adornment is? What is their adornment? Read it again. They adorn themselves with what?
Adorn themselves being in subjection unto their own husband.
And being subjection unto their own husband. So here's the example on how that is. Like I said, I came into the school and it was heavy for me because I saw that. And the first example, I got a clear understanding right here in this school was this right here. Read.
Verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Even as what?
Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham. I'm not coming out of the Christian church. I'm not used to seeing that. I'm being straight up. I'm not saying there's maybe like one or two out there in all the pews out of the 300-400 people. It may be about 2 or 3 women that, she'll compromise a little bit. But the point is, I never came from that environment was different. I never came into an environment where even as Sarah obeyed her husband, I saw sisters obeying their husband. It was weird to me. It was strange to me, but I liked it. It looked right. It felt good. And I looked in the scriptures and I got confirmation because I seen this. Read.
Calling him Lord.
Calling him what?
Calling him Lord.
Calling him Adawan. If you gonna be under me, I'm your Adawan. This is how you show the great reverence, the great example, being obedient. Adawan, meaning Lord. That's the example that the Bible is giving you on how you win him over. By what? By running your mouth? No, by your inward adornment, right? And what is that inward adornment that you have? Being what? Subjected unto your husband. Being subjected to your husband. Now, before I play the video, the Christian video, right? When I was in the Christian church, right? Give me Ephesians 5 and 21. They used to always start with in Ephesians 5 and 21. I'm going to show you something about that. Ephesians 5 and 21. Now, whenever they talked about submission, right? They will always start at verse 21. Can you read verse 21 and verse 22? Ephesians 5, 21 and 22.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 21. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
So right here it's saying submit yourselves one to another in fear to the Most High. And look, the subject matter that they'll be talking about is marriage. All right. And then they'll say, read that again.
Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Verse 22.
All right, hold it, stop. So that'll be the subject matter. So the subject matter, they'll say, see, you got to submit yourselves to one and another, right? And then it goes into the wives. Read.
Verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord.
So now it's a conflict of interest here. It's a conflict of interest. Don't you see it? What do you see?
So the first verse says submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
Right.
So that's a different level. That's just from what I'm seeing, husband just, being good to his wife, the wife being good to his husband.
But it says submit. Just submit yourselves to one to another. It's not 2 words for submit, like men, this is your submission. And women, that's just, it don't say that.
Okay.
So we have, what do you see here?
I see that there's a difference.
What's the difference? It is a difference. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. This right here is crazy. Y'all gotta look at this, right? Y'all gotta look at this, because when you read the two together like that, and the subject matter is husband and wife, it becomes kind of like different, but it's not going with each other. You got to go up. You got to go up. Like, okay, we just going to get right into verse 21. Go to verse 20.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 20. Giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
Come on.
Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
So that's what it's talking about. All right. Then it goes into a different subject. It's saying it's still talking about being obedient to the Most High Power, right? But it goes into a different subject matter, because then it says wives. So now this is where you should always start if you're starting with a subject matter talking about husband and wife. Watch this. Now read.
Verse 22, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
So it's saying, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video, right? I'm going to play this video. This joint is crazy, right? All right. Now, I got this video because I asked this question to a Christian woman. I said, is there ever a time when you don't follow your husband? Do me one more favor. Give me 1 Corinthians 11:1. Now I'm gonna pull up this video, right? Let's see. Give me a sec. Let me know when you got that.
1 Corinthians 11:1.
Let's read.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 1.
Read.
Be ye followers of me.
Read it again.
Be ye followers of me.
No, be ye followers of Christ.
Be ye followers of me.
Be ye followers of God.
Of me.
Of who?
Of me.
Just like Commander General Yohana is saying. He's saying the same thing. I always bring this out. He's saying the same thing just like Paul. Paul said, be ye followers of me. Now, he's not saying follow behind my consciousness and follow behind what I'm thinking, but he's saying, be ye followers of me. Read.
Even as I also am of Christ.
There you go. See, it's back on the point. Even as ye are followers of Christ, right? Of the Mashiach. Come on.
Verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things.
In some things.
In all things.
In what?
In all things.
So remember this, in all things. That means in every category, every title, in every subject, in every subjection, right? It says what?
That ye remember me in all things.
Remember me in all things. Remember me in all things. Read.
And keep the ordinances.
Keep the what?
Ordinances.
Keep the what?
Ordinances.
Keep those ordinances. Go ahead.
As I delivered them to you.
Come on. As I what?
Delivered them to you.
So Paul is saying, follow me as I follow who?
Christ.
As I follow the Mashiach, right? Read.
And keep the ordinances.
Keep this tradition. This is not a tradition of man. This is a tradition of the Most High Power, right? Read.
As I delivered them unto you. Verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Is God.
Is Christ.
Is your wife.
Christ.
Is a woman.
Christ.
Is a dog.
Christ.
Is a cat.
Christ.
Is Christ. You know what, Salakia? You know what? Sidebar. Hey, real quick. I got to get this to y'all. I've got to talk about this before I roll out, right? Have you heard of the furries?
I did hear about it. I don't completely understand what's going on.
Okay, so what they're saying is kids are becoming animals. We're gonna get to that. They're becoming animals out. I mean, God, man, listen, look, we need the Lord to come back now because it's crazy out here. It's called the furries. We're going to talk about that. I meant to talk about that and bring that up, but I'm going to bring it up. Where was I at just now? Where was I at?
We were on, and I think Salaki, I already talking about how they identify as being.
You know what? I don't want to get off target right now. I don't want to get off target. Where was I at?
We left off on verse 3. I can read it again from the top.
Verse 3. No, you can read that verse. Take verse 3 from the top.
I was actually in the middle of verse 3.
All right, go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. Is it the head of the woman is the woman?
Is the man.
Is the man. That's the order right there. If you break that order, then you're not following Paul. You're not following the Mashiach. You're not keeping the orderances. Keep reading, huh?
And the head of Christ is God.
The head of that's the head of all of this is the Most High God, right? So that's your holy order, right? That's your holy order. So you can't get around that. Now I'm going to play this video from this guy. This is crazy right here, but I'm going to play this video and y'all can listen to this guy and he's going to break down. I'm going to play the whole thing and then I'm going to stop it. I'm going to play it as it goes. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to play it as it goes. All right. All right, here we go.
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Let me explain. Now, there is a passage in submit to her husband. Well, sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Let me explain. Now, there is a passage in Ephesians 5 that I want to read where this idea of a wife submitting to her husband comes from. It says here, for wives, this means submit to your husbands as to the Lord. For a husband is the head of his wife, as Christ is the head of the church. He is the savior of his body, the church. As the church submits to Christ, so you wives should submit to your husbands in everything.
Now listen. Now it says everything. I was when I first saw this video, right, and I was looking at the video. I said, well, it says everything, but watch how you get out of it. Watch how you get out of it. This guy right here is he's the most Caucasianist black guy. He's the boat. Listen, he's definitely married to the Esau. Watch this, y'all. Watch it. Watch how you get out of this.
Did you catch those last two words? In everything. Now, this passage of scripture has literally been taken out of context and has been used as a form of manipulative control by many men over the years to suggest that their wives don't have any say in the matter. Their wives have to unequivocally obey, no qualifications whatsoever. They are under a divine requirement to obey and submit to my lead, my leadership, my ideas, my control, my desires at all times, because this verse says in everything. But what I want to do in this video is I want to prove to you that this is actually not accurate, and there's a better way to understand this idea of a wife submitting to her husband. First, let's start with the order. God is a God of order, right? And the proper order is that a husband should first and foremost be submitted to God. The second level is that a wife should be submitted to her husband, not every man, her husband. And then the layer below that is that children should be submitted to their parents. Now, the problem is this. If at any time any of those pieces in that order are out of alignment, the entire premise breaks down. If the man is not submitted first and foremost to God, then that woman is under no obligation, and I'm going to prove it to you in just a moment using scripture, to obey or to submit. All
right, I want to stop there for 1 second. What did you notice right there in the images, right? I want you guys, I'm going to play the images again. In these images, when he started talking about marriage, he used nothing but white images. I thought this guy was a Jehovah's Witness at first. I was like, is he a Jehovah's Witness? He used nothing but white images, y'all. Watch. I bet y'all didn't peep that. I bet it just went right over your head. When he started talking about husbands submit to God, it's a better setting. It's a better presentation. That's how he's presenting it. He's presenting it as, okay, look, husbands, submit yourselves unto your wives, right? Now watch when he started speaking about the other side. Then he showed a brother, but only when he talks about submitting and he's talking about husband and wives, he plays nothing but white images. Watch.
The second level is that a wife
First
should
one was
be
a white guy.
submitted to
Second was a white
her husband. Not every man, her husband. And then the layer
I'm
below
picking.
that is that children should be submitted to their parents.
See that whole thing? He's giving an environment of that. He's whitewashing it. That's what he's doing. He's whitewashing it, and because he knows that's gonna sell. He knows this right here, people gonna watch this. But if he got a sister on the couch and a brother on the couch and their children on the couch, yeah, it may not come over as well. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I own my own company, right? And I hired someone in my family to help me with the promotion. And when I hired the person to help me with the promotion, man, they wanted to put a white guy on the cover of my book. On my book, what I own. Can you believe that? But that person said that it'll sell better if we put a white face over it. Just like back in the day, they said that when artists used to come out with a song, they never put their face on it. Sometimes they would put a white face on it, but they would do that because imaging is everything. So this guy right here, he's putting that image out there, and all the image that he has when it's dealing with the family right there is nothing but he's red. It's nothing but red all over the place, red as hell.
If at any time any of those pieces in that order are out of alignment, the entire premise breaks down. If the man is not submitted first and foremost.
Now notice when he talks about not submitting, what image do he show? A brother. Is it up yet?
To God, then that woman is under no
See that?
obligation, and I'm going to prove
That's
it to you in
crazy,
just a
ain't
moment
it?
using scripture to obey or to submit.
I guarantee you he
or surrender
married
to that
Esau. I
man.
guarantee.
Because her first
Like-
allegiance is to submit to her higher authority, who is God.
Now I would admit with him on that. But the examples that he gave, I thought were crazy. The example that he gave was Esther, and the example that he gave was Abigail. It's not real that heavy to go into it. I'm just going to show y'all the examples that he gave. He gave the first example was Esther, right?
The first example is in the book of Esther, and this is Esther. Now, we understand the story of Esther, but her husband, the king, was getting ready to commit.
See, that's right. That right there, that's flaws. What he said. We know the story of Esther. No, we don't. Everybody don't know the event of Esther. That's the problem. All right. Now we know the event of Esther, but they don't. All right. But I want y'all to listen to what he's saying. Then we're going to just briefly talk about, because it's not that heavy. It's really not. We're going to use Esther 7, but I'm going to play this.
Genocide. He was preparing to literally wipe out the entire Jewish nation. Now, should Esther have just sat there and said, you know what? I'm supposed to submit. He's the king. I'm supposed to do whatever he wants me to do. I don't have any say. I'm not able to speak up. I don't have a voice. No, because what he was doing was not in alignment with God, right? And so what she did was she intervened. She stepped in, and because she did not submit to her husband's desires, she was able to actually save her people from genocide. That's
now he cleaned it up. He said, my people, because that's what it was about. All right. Remember, Esther was an Israelite, right? And the command was for the king. The king gave the decree to go out and kill the Jews. And Esther, being a Jew, revealed that she was a Jew and asked the king not to kill the Jews. I don't know what the hell he talking about. I don't know what he talking about. I really don't. Like, and the other one is crazy too. It has not submission. Submission is okay. Look, can my rib give me a suggestion or say something to me about something or show me? Of course she can. That sounds stupid. Of course she can. Especially, look, she can probably comprehend it better than me right now. I could be going through, so it could be anything going on, right? So can she suggest yes? Can I tell her to go ahead and do something and take the lead on something? Yes. Can she take the initiative and take the lead on something? Yes. Yes, she can. Because it's times when she have to. A perfect example is Jacob and Esau. Jacob and Esau. When Jacob was old, Salakia, when Isaac was old, his rib had to take action to make sure that the word of the Most High Power, his commandment, would go forth. So that's an example. That's an example. Not living under her government, not her becoming the head. The only example you have of that is Jezebel. Jezebel was the only woman that I know of in the scriptures that wanted to be in the position of her husband. She were the ones that was out battling with the prophets. You don't supposed to be on Clubhouse and Facebook, all that battling. I think that's so. Listen, if you see anybody that's supposed to belong to me on that battling, that's someone that's doing something that's out that I ain't co-sign for that. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. You don't get out there on the battlefield. You let me get out there on the battlefield. What did I say go out?
Esther 7.
Yeah, Esther 7:1, so I can show y'all what Esther really did. This guy, man, I don't know what the hell this boy was talking about. I really don't.
First example.
All right, that was the first example. So now this is what Esther did. Real quick to make a long story short. Let's get it out.
The book of Esther.
Start at 7:1.
The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 1. So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther.
So because Esther had invited them to a banquet. She wanted them both to come to the banquet, right? Read.
And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom. Then Esther, the queen, answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king.
O king, which is her husband. Read. What this guy talking about? Go ahead.
And if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition.
Let my life be given me at my petition. Read.
And my people.
And my who?
And my people.
That's why Esther was there. Esther was being obedient to who? My people.
Oh.
My people. That's what that's where the you know why? It's her people. It's because Esther knows that within how you love. And how do you love? You love by keeping his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. Right? That's how you love. And Esther know that Israel is set apart above all people. And guess what? Esther understands brotherhood. Esther understands that unity that you're supposed to have. So Esther said, what? My petition and save. She wants this request to save her people. Save her people. This guy, people really believe and listen to this. The next one I'm gonna play the next one too. This guy, and someone brought this to me. That's what's heavy about it. This was actually brought to me and said, see, boom. I said, give me an example. This is a Christian woman. I said, give me an example of where in the Bible does it say or show that a woman don't have to follow her husband? I didn't say give him a suggestion or tell him something or say something to him. I said follow. Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. The head of the woman is man. That's what he's saying. All right. Now, this right here, I'll play this one for, because she said, this is an example right here. So here we go.
The second example is in 1 Samuel chapter 25, and her name is Abigail, right? And so Abigail, you might know the story, but basically David is taking care of the sheep. He's out in the wilderness and things like that, to make a long story short. And there's this guy named Nabal, whose name means fool. And he also had some shepherds out there and stuff like that. To make a long story short, David knew that Nabal was rich. And so David sent a message to Nabal saying, hey, can you take care of my men? We're out here in the wilderness. It's kind of hot. We need some supplies. We need you to take care of me because we know you got it. Nabal sends a message back to David. I don't know you. I don't know you. No, you're not getting anything from me. It's all mine. You're not getting anything. David says, oh, you must not know about me. You must not know who I am. And he tells all of his men literally strap up because we're about to take this fool out. Now, Abigail could have sat back and been like, well, you know what? My husband, he doesn't want to do anything. And you know what? My husband wants to ignore David. No. What she does is she realizes that her husband is out of alignment. Her husband is wrong, that her husband's plan is going to ultimately lead to her demise. And so she steps in and overrules her husband's desire and intercedes. And as a result, she is able to save her household.
Let me get this idiot. I got to take that. None of that's true. But that's the only thing I could find on what the person sent me. Like, none of that's true. None of it. None of it. Abigail, her husband was killed. He was killed, but he died, Salakia. He died, and when he died, David married her. Like, y'all need to read it, but it doesn't say. This isn't, first of all, even if it was an act, we're not, once again, I'm not saying an act. I'm not saying a suggestion. Look, if I was to say that I don't need a woman, that sounds crazy to me. But it's normal for a woman to say that she don't need a man. That's normal now. Like, are we helpmates or are we partners? See how the language is changing? That's a major big difference between a helpmate and a partner. A partner now is different from a helpmate. Now, somebody would say a partner is a helpmate. Yes, a partner is a form of a helper, but a helpmate is different from a partner, because a partner, now we're equal. We eye to eye. Listen, you looking to be on my team. We ain't eye to eye. We just not eye to eye. Listen, it's noise coming up. We hear something going on downstairs. Chill. I got this. I'm going to see what's going on. I don't want you to say chill. I'm going to go see what's going on. We don't want that. See, now we partners, because now it's up in the air who goes downstairs, because there's a noise downstairs. It's up in the air on who's going to do the hard labor around the house. Look, I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to holler at you. I'm going to handle that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? Us eye to eye, model to model, that's not going to work. You win the man over. I showed you how you win the man over. You win the man over by your behavior. Now let's go back to Ephesians 5:22. That's where we started at, right? Because we went up to 21. Don't let nobody tell you the subject matter of husband and wife and then go to Ephesians 5:21. Don't let nobody do that. Don't let nobody do that to you at all. All right? Not at all. You got him? All right, let's get it.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 21.
Read. No, start at verse 22. This is where they should start at. If someone is giving you a subject and the subject matter is talking about wives or husband and wives or anything like that, don't let them start at verse 21. No. Verse 22. If they go to 21, say, hey, listen, let's get the subject on what we're talking about. Let's go up a couple verses. So if you go up a couple verses, you'll see exactly what he's talking about. All right. Verse 22.
Verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Come on.
As unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord. So he's saying, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. So just like your relationship is with the Lord, it's just like your relationship should be with your Adawan. Do you see that? If anybody don't see that in the chat, let me see. If you don't see right now where it says wives, it doesn't say husbands and wives. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, not unto somebody else's husband, but unto your own husband as unto the Lord. Where does it say anything different? From, like Bo was saying, well, it's compromisable. Not in all cases. Let me explain something. When do you not follow Yahweh Shai? If it says you follow your husband just like you would follow the Lord. So whatever your relationship is with your husband, if that relationship is raggedy, your relationship with the Most High is raggedy. It's raggedy. Because that's the image, that's the reverence, that's the example. When you're walking on this earth, the example that we supposed to see is the relationship between you and your Adawan. That relationship between you and the Adawan is an example that we see of your relationship with our Lord, our King. Don't that make sense? Just think about it. Don't that make sense? Read that again, huh?
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
As unto the Most High. That's what you're doing. If you're submitting unto the Lord, we know the head of the Lord is God. We know that's in order. So if you're submitting yourself unto Yahweh Shai, you submitting yourself unto the Most High. Because Yahweh Shai did not come to do what? His own will, but he came to do the will of the Father that sent him, right? Keep reading.
Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church.
So if the Mashiach is the head of the church, and that's the example, when does that role change? Like, should you listen? Yeah, you should listen all the time, especially if he in this truth right here. Especially if, listen, let me give you an example. And I want y'all to really listen to what I'm saying to you, especially you sisters, right? You sisters, if you got your head is in this school, right? You should come in this school because we have leadership that helps keep us in order. So if it's some behavior that you see and you're not comfortable with it, or you see it's out of order, you call your camp leader. You call the camp leader. And when you call the camp leader, guess what the camp leader gonna do? He gonna reach out to that officer or that trooper, whoever it is. He's gonna reach out to that brother and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have a talk. And if we can't resolve it, then guess what? We go into council. And when the generals get involved in it, we're gonna get it resolved. Right? If you in the world, if you're a Christian and you in the world and I'm in the truth, how we gonna get this fixed? How we gonna get it fixed? How we gonna get it fixed out? If she not in the truth and I'm in the truth, she can still go to my camp leader. But you can't go to my camp leader if you're running around acting like Medea. You can't go to the camp leader. That ain't gonna work. Because the camp leader ain't gonna want to hear nothing you got to say, and the general ain't gonna want to hear nothing you got to say. But if you conducting yourself like we read in 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1, Oh, now that's a whole nother story. Now we can fix this. But if you don't have no respect for the school and because you don't have no respect for your head, now how are we supposed to fix it up? Like, we got a problem because the family is being broken up. We under attack. How do I fix it? If you don't respect what I respect because you don't understand that I'm your head, right? And you don't respect those that I respect over me, right? How do we fix it? How do I fix it? Because, everybody's saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe that you in the ISUPK and you'll call the cops. Yes, I will call the damn cops, man. I will. If you breaking and tearing and destroying my things, if you acting crazy and you're not calming down, yeah, I'm gonna have to, because I don't want the tiger or the lion to bite the arm off. I don't want the tiger to come out. I don't want the lion to come out, because if we get the tiger and the lion to come out, then it gets real ugly. It gets real ugly. So guess what? If you go to his camp leader, guess who you showing is your head? The husband. The husband. You're showing that I'm the head because you respect what I respect. You respect it enough to go to what I respect and I'm going to listen to. But I have to do the same to you. And I might have to go to your father. Let me get her father real quick. John 8 and 40. Let me get this. This is the daddy of the male, the either or. Salakia. It could be the head, because it could be a sister that's in the school and her head is not in the school. What do we do in that case? You got any? John 8 and 44. And look, if you're saying what I start at verse 43. If you're saying what I'm saying, sound crazy, and you don't understand it, this is why. Read.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 43. Why do ye not understand my speech?
Read.
Even because ye cannot hear my words.
Because you can't hear these words that we speaking. When we talking about this truth, we stay within the context of this book. Read.
Ye are of your father, the devil.
That's who I got to go to when I'm dealing with you. I got to go to what?
The devil.
The what?
The devil.
And who is that from the top? Verse 44.
Ye are of your father, the devil.
Your father is the devil. That's who your father is. Go back to Ephesians 5 and 23. What was you at? 23, right? That's where I'm at. I'm gonna have to go to your daddy. I'm gonna have to go to your daddy. I had to go to your daddy, and I will go to your daddy. If you can't stop, if you can't chill, I will go to your daddy. All right. Go ahead. Verse 23.
Verse 23. So we left off at
Salaki.
From the top of that verse.
Go ahead.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church.
And Yahushua Mashiach is the head of the body at all times. It's never a break. It's never now. He's not the head. That sounds silly. Oh, well, I'm leading the church right now. I'm leading Christ right now. Imagine that. That's what you're saying when you say you're leading your husband. When you say you're leading your head, that's you're saying that you are the head of Christ. It's an abomination. Read that.
Christ is the head of the church.
Who?
Christ is the head of the church.
It's the Mashiach is the head of the church. He's the head, just like you're the head. Read.
And he is the savior of the body.
Just like, hey, look, I'm going to save this thing. And listen, if I'm falling short, how do you win me over? With your behavior. And when you win me over, guess what? I'm going to save the body. We're going to save the body. You're going to be a major role because you're my helpmate. You're the one that helped lift me up. Listen, if you tearing me down before I leave out the house, How do you think I'm gonna go out and conquer the world? How do you think I'm gonna go out in this jungle and get this meat? How am I gonna make rational decisions if you beating me down in the crib? If you're not allowing me to be the head in the crib, if you're not allowing me, how could I be the savior of the body? I'm gonna make horrible decisions. I'm gonna be hesitant. I'm gonna be fearful. It's gonna be things that's gonna stop me from conquering the world. Because that's what we are here in the ISUPK for. We are here to conquer this thing. We are here to conquer this thing, and we're to conquer it through this truth, right? Read up.
Verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ.
Just as the church is subject to Christ. It's real simple. Just as, no, some ways.
Always.
Always, just as. Read it again, because they really need to hear it. Because it's, Salakia, Baba Kashar, I hope that you hear this. I hope that you understand this. The way you winning over, but it's not with your mouth. It's with your behavior. It's with that inner beauty. You know that thing that you say that make you special? You know the thing that's in you. The thing that you, when you look in the mirror, you can see beyond your face. You know the thing that make you feel the way you feel? Use that. Use that to win me over. Use that to get me to understand what you're saying. And I guarantee you'll win him over. Go ahead, Up.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ.
Come on.
So let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In some things.
In everything. I
don't know what this dude talking about in everything. It's always, listen, ladies, sisters, Salakia, y'all clever. You know how to make it seem like he doing it. Make it seem like he doing it then. Look, whatever you got to do, but lift the brother up. Don't tear the brother down. Like right now, it's critical because when we going out into these jungles, man, and we going out here into this war, the battles that we're going into is big and heavy. You know what I'm saying? Remember, our battle is spiritual, so therefore this spiritual battle is a conscious thing. It's a thing that it's a what word can I use? It's a stereotype. That's what we fight. When we leave out our front door, we're fighting a stereotype. When we get in our car and driving, we're fighting a stereotype. When we stop at the light, it's a stereotype. Oh, don't let 5-0 pull up behind us. That's a stereotype. When we go into the store, it's a stereotype. And guess what? My sisters, it's a stereotype for you. But your stereotype is not as bad as our stereotype. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not judging the two, but I'm trying to show you that, listen, we got to lift each other up. The reason why I say the stereotype of your head is worse is because we are a major threat, even with our voice. But if you keep your tone low and you walk in that meekness and that quietness and you let that inner beauty shine, then that's when you're going to win all conversations. But you ain't going to win it when acting like Medea. You got anything you want to add in this?
What you're saying is heavy, and I totally agree with what you're saying. That's one of the things that I've noticed in relationships over time, and I've seen with the way these generations are nowadays, where TV, movies, social media, it kind of dictates
right,
like that woman's attitude towards her her man,
right.
And I don't think any woman out here is going to get exactly what she needs if she's yelling and always, like you said, the Medea thing is perfect. Like just being all ridiculous, wig shaking off, animated, just yelling, just going crazy. It's like, sister, you can't do that.
And they right, and they do that. Look, I was watching the movie, right? I was watching the movie, the 40-year Virgin, right? And you watched that, Joe?
I've seen a lot of it, but
Okay, when he walked out his house one day to go to work, and he saw sexual ads everywhere. He saw it on the bus. He saw it everywhere, right? Because he was being influenced by it, right? And that pressure, that's the type of stuff that our sisters go through. They go through a peer pressure from the world. They peer pressured to be this phrase that they call a strong black woman. Now, what is a strong black woman? I'm gonna close on this, right? Okay, you got what's a strong black woman here?
Like like what's actually real?
Yeah, like what we see in society.
Oh,
I believe it's two types.
Society's version of it.
Yeah, I believe it's two types.
So society's version of it is a woman that won't take anything from anybody. She's going to give you her opinion. She's going to try to earn as much as a man. She's going to try to, make sure that she's not getting taken advantage of. She's going to have a sexual appetite like a man. Like pretty much a strong black woman is a man.
Right. And and that's what I was going to say. Unfortunately, that's one of them. And I'm going to give one for the other sisters too. But one of them is, like he said, being masculine. Look, I know a sister, she's a Christian. She believed that the more she can stand up to her husband, the more that makes her a strong black woman. That sounds silly. That a strong black woman we just read in the scriptures. She win you over by her behavior, not by her mouth, right? That's a strong black woman. That's a strong Israelite woman that is obedient to the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, right? If you hate your husband, right? Or if the husband hate his wife without a cause, right? Guess what? Guess what? You are fulfilling the very curse that we're fighting against, because that's a curse. To hate your husband, that's a curse. So what we want to do is, once again, 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1, we're going to read it again. And like I said, man, it's real heavy right now what's going on out here. Like everybody under attack, man. I'm gonna have to get about 3 of them. Shit. So I can. Go ahead, start.
Book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 1.
Read.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word.
See, there it is. If any obey not the word, because that should be the issue that you have. The issue that you have it is if he obey not the word, right? Read.
They also may without the word be won by the conversion of their wives.
Come on.
Verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
So that's letting you know that that's what that's talking about. It's your behavior. It's how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself. That's how you win him over. Right? Now, keep reading now.
Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold, or of putting on salakia, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel.
Listen, don't get it twisted. We appreciate the outer beauty, but that's not what's going to win it. That's not what's going to make it happen. Oh yeah, you beautiful, but that's not it. This is how you do it. Read.
Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible. That's not corruptible. Why? Because you're a new creature. Remember, you in the truth. So you walking in the faith of Yahweh Shah Mashiach and the laws, statutes, and the commandments. That's what you're walking in. So now that inner thing that's in you is not corrupt. It's incorrupt. Read. even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
A meek and quiet spirit. She ain't definitely going for that. She the loudest thing out there. So don't be the total opposite of this. Listen, if you do this, trust me, it'll work. It'll work. Trust me. Believe me, it'll work. It'll bring down the whole temper in the whole room. Like y'all going at it and you done lost it. But now you done say, you know what? I remember 1 Peter 3, 1 through, okay, let me bring it down. And bring that thing down. You're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to be a winner. And you know how you're a winner? By submitting unto your husband. Go ahead, Al.
Which is in the sight of God of great price.
Come on, that's great. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing to do what we said. What we're reading right now is beautiful in the sight of the Most High God. Can't get no better than that. But if you want him to look down and say, ew, that's act like Medea. That's what you're going to get. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy woman also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
So here's the example that he gives. Read.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are.
Who what?
Whose daughters ye are.
That's who you are. You daughters of Sarah. So if you daughters of Sarah, look, just like the example we follow in the New Testament is what? The 12 foundations, the cornerstone. That's the example that we follow. We are the sons of God, right? So right here is showing you a foundation for the daughters of Sarah. It's showing you the foundation on how you should be to win your husband over, to be adorned properly, right? To be adorned properly is in verse 5, where it says, adorn thyself, being in subjection unto your own husband. Right there, that's adornment. That's being covered, right? And then he says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you are. Read.
As long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement.
Read.
Likewise, ye husbands.
Likewise, ye husbands. All right, I just wanted to drop one for my brothers, right? Likewise, ye husbands. Read.
Dwell with them according to knowledge.
Dwell with them according to knowledge. You know they're the weaker vessel. You know that already, right? So look, I'm gonna give you a hit, right? Look, if you know she's the weaker vessel, right? And she says something where it takes you back, and you're like, I can't believe you just said that, right? Remember, she's the weaker vessel, right? When you get ready to go in there and talk to her, or she come and talk to you, just keep in mind, keep that right there on the holster. She's the weaker vessel. All right. So you got to use knowledge. You got to do this thing in wisdom, right? Read.
Giving honor unto the wife.
Give honor when honor is due. Right? Read.
As unto the weaker vessel.
As unto the weaker vessel. Let her know. I understand. I see what you're saying. Especially if I see it. I'm going to let you know. I see what you're saying. I understand. I try to be understanding as possible. And look, just keep in mind, we out here in this battle. We out here in this fight. Look, I'm trying to make this thing good for you. I'm trying to make this thing right for you, right? Go ahead, Al.
And as being heirs together of the grace of life.
Come on.
That your prayers be not hindered.
That your prayers be not hindered. All right. So if there's you got anything you want to add? Any questions online?
Well said.
All right. All right. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna give the brothers a courtesy salute. Mijum. Oh, Salakia. We got the ISUPK security announcement. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. Asherah means 10th in Hebrew. That's 10% of any penny that the Lord give unto you, right? You send that to Commander General Yahano, you bring it down to the school, all right? Priest fund, free will offering, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you may give. Up and coming Holy Convocation, we got the Feast of Purim coming up. That'll be March 5th and 6th, right? Yeah, March 5th and 6th. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, scarf, and headband, and saying that. Amijam, we're going to give the brothers a courtesy salute. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam, Barak. Yahaba Hashem Yahabashah Barakathum. Yat Yamata, arms down. Star means to turn. We're going to face the sisters. Amijam Shabbat. Amijam, Barak. Yahweh Shema Avtham Hashem Yahabashah. Yat Yamata, class dismissed.